Round one. Fight.
Heroes never die.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Power, sex, power. They both come down to one thing.
Hungry gamers.
Hello, and welcome, boys and girls, to the 206th episode of the Hungry Gamers podcast. We are powered by 8bit.net and those sexy legends over at Audio Technica. I'm your extremely humble host, Brendan White. You can find me just about everywhere at Brendan8bit. And joining me today, the Jane to my Cliff Steele. We're talking about Miss Ali Hart. You can find her obviously at Miss Ali Hart. How you doing today for episode 206 of THG?
I'm doing well. That's very tricky. I was curious what you were, but that was very, very tricky. I commend you.
Okay. You connected the dots. You know where I'm going with that one?
Yeah, at first I'm like, Jane? Am I expecting a Tarzan reference? But then you said Cliff, so I knew where you were going. How are you?
That's it. I'm okay. I'm a bit touch and go. Like, I've sort of got a little bit of a second coming of the flu at the moment. So immediately you're paranoid and you're like, oh my God, I've been in touch with a COVID carrier, I'm going to die, blah, blah, blah. Who have I been around? Trace contact, all that kind of stuff. So the last 24 hours, I've sort of started to get a little bit of a scratchy throat and a little bit of a cough and a sniffle. So I'm like, oh, now I need to probably go get the COVID test because that seems to be the norm now. So I'm just sort of waiting and seeing how my day plays out. I'm going to take it easy today, try and avoid as many people as I can. And yeah, just see how I'm feeling. But I'm assuming I'm probably going to have to sort of self-isolate and work from home again the next week or so while I get a test with how things are. So, yeah, that's how I'm going. Very, very dreary and dramatic.
Yeah, well, like the whole idea of self-isolation's always been perfect for me. Like just avoiding people, staying indoors. It's like, yeah, sounds like my life. It sounds great. Sounds like a solid plan.
There's certainly some positives to the isolation, that's for damn sure. But I think I'm going to have one of them big swabs go in and tickle my brain. So we'll see how that goes. It
looks so painful.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Like, it looks like it's hitting the back of your skull with sort of how deep this thing has to go. But
some of the videos, they pull it out and there's like blood on it. And I'm like, how far did you go? Like, ugh.
To the ends of the earth of your skull. So yeah, we'll see. It's just like the COVID stuff is pretty contained up here, but you just never know, you know? Like these women that did this border hop and stole all these bags and then came back to Brisbane from Melbourne and jumped all around Brisbane were in some areas that I've been in over the this week, but they were there I think 2-3 weeks ago. So I'm assuming, you know, touch wood, it's just a sort of back end of winter bit of a loogie I've got, but you've got to be safe. Got to be sure.
Yeah, see, it's tricky for you guys because you're smack bang in like winter now, aren't you? So, whereas here, where balls deep in summer, it is disgusting over here. Yeah. It's really gross. So, having a cold in the heat is the worst. So,
yeah. So we'll see what happens. But outside of that, I've just been playing heap more Fall Guys this week.
You're addicted?
On the old PlayStation 4. Addicted, maybe. Like, I really love playing, but I'm not sort of hankering for it all the time, you know? Yeah. Like, I think it's something that I certainly find myself enjoying more playing when I'm in a squad with people. Like, I did a few rando games by myself just to kill some time of evenings this week, and it wasn't as cool as knowing that I was rolling together. So I think it was it Wednesday? Was it Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday. It was myself, Tilby, Dane, and Jono sort of squatted up on the PlayStation. We were rumbling for a couple of hours before bed. And I was off the comms, but just knowing that they were in the lobby and sort of jumping between the characters when I got knocked out or, you know, I finished before some of the others, and just sort of seeing if they'd finished before me, or if they were eliminated, or if they were still there. It was really nice to sort of watch and sort of cheer them on, or, you know, get sad because they didn't make that final number or that final jump. So
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mostly play solo. I've played more solo than anything. I've barely ever
Really?
played with groups. Yeah, and I think I enjoy playing solo. I really like that I can just load up this game and play like 5, 6, 7, 10, 20 rounds and then just like turn it off and play something else or do something else. It's yeah, you don't really have to dedicate yourself to playing it. It's completely like easy gameplay, so
It's such a good game too. It's so simple. I'm starting to appreciate some of the levels a bit more, but then occasionally like I'll play a level for the first time after like 20 rounds of everything else, and I've realized I hate most of the games to do with kicking or moving the big balls, because I seem to always be on the worst teams, and I'm just getting smoked in like playing against Ronaldo and stuff like that in the soccer, where they've timed it perfectly when they do the drop in off the goal and they sort of like power kick it as it falls in and it straight into the goal. Like, no matter what you do against some of these guys, they're shimmying and bending it like Beckham and stuff. It's like, come on now. We're just little jelly beans trying to have some fun.
I'm just bad at those games. So I do feel bad whenever it is one of the like soccer one or the one where you just got to put the balls in your court. I'm good at the egg game though. You bet your sweet ass that I'm going to be protecting our eggs and just pushing any person that tries to steal eggs back into the nest so they can't like take them out. Like that's one of the team ones that I'm actually pretty good at. But I just hate anything with grabbing the tail, like especially when it's the final game and it's grab the tail. And yeah, I suck at it. I don't understand how I could be on someone and not get the tail, but someone that's like miles away from me grabs mine. Everyone says it's a lag thing, but I've got good internet, so I don't understand.
Me too. Like, I'm running some MBN at home, and yeah, there is some occasional rubber banding or just random slight delays where you'll have like 5 body lengths between somebody, and then all of a sudden your tail's gone. You're like, how is this possible? Like,
exactly.
But I got the back-to-back crowns on Wednesday night, finishing with sort of the every man for himself tail grab. Yeah. And it's intense. Like, I held it, like I started with it in one of them and held it for about a minute straight somehow. Like, I was just sort of shimmying and stepping and pulling these moves out of my ass, but then it was gone. And so I was chasing this guy for the final section, and then it sort of jumped between a few people in dying seconds. And I just timed it perfectly where I got it with like 2 seconds to go, and then just, put the boot down. And won that and then won again. But this platinum or that achievement where you got to win 5 in a row, that's insane. Like, I don't know many people that are going to have that kind of luck from game to game.
It is going to be luck, because this is barely even a talent-based thing. Like, I know that I have a greater chance of winning. Like, I have like about an 80 to 90% chance of always making it to the finals, but I just don't win the finals unless it's the King of the Hill one. If it's the King of the Hill one, then I've got a good chance of winning.
Nice.
Any of the other ones, I suck. I suck really bad at it.
The hexagon one, it's tough. Like, timing,
people are tricky.
Yeah, working out if you're just sort of going to focus on yourself or try and knock people out, jump into their path where they're running along the hexagons. I'm not like that, but so many people, obviously it's a strategy. They want to try and win, but they'll time it so they'll just jump on front of the hexagon, like in front of you, onto the hexagon you want, just as you're about to go there, and then just down the hole. And so many times where I've been on one of the higher levels, I'll just find this one spot where I'll misjump or someone will knock that spot out, and then just by chance I'll fall all the way through. Like, there'll be holes straight down to the bottom into the slime, and I'm like, come on now, come on. Like, I've fallen 10 stories in one hit. Like, so disheartening.
I get pretty bitter on that one. If I've already fallen like a bunch of levels, then I just go to the very last one and start cancelling out the entire row, because I know it's going to take a while for everyone else to get there. So
that's a smart idea, actually. I've never thought of that. I've always tried to just stay as high as possible.
Oh no, it's not a winning move. It's a dick move.
It's more like a spiteful move.
Yeah, it's like, I know I ain't winning, so I'm just going to add this extra challenge here at the bottom. Okay. So
yeah, but no, it's great. I've picked up a ton of skins and patterns and stuff from the rotating store. I dropped some real money because I thought I got the game for free on PS Plus, but I bought the fast food pack. I think it was like $8, and you get the French fry, the milkshake, and the burger little uniforms. So I've been rolling them.
Can I just say I've actually been really disappointed with the shop? Like
I concur. Yeah.
Yeah, like I kind of don't like anything. I've saved up a lot of money. So if anyone's been playing the game on PC, if you see a white dove, I'm assuming it's a dove. I don't think it's a pigeon. I think it's a white dove head with the sports shorts bottom. It's me, because I haven't cared for any of the new stuff or any of the crown related stuff. So yeah, so I haven't had any incentive to like buy things. So.
A lot of it is pretty hit and miss. Like a lot of the patterns or the color combinations are kind of average. And then some of the color combinations don't translate with some of the patterns.
Yeah.
Like the little lightning bolt one, where it's just always going to be main color with like a little bolt like on your forearm and that's sort of it. Like things like that. But it's cool, and no doubt they're probably making some cash out of it because this game is just going bananas. 2 million copies moved in the first like week. Servers just getting blown up left, right, and center because there's so many players. Yeah,
I just can't handle because of I understand that this is still essentially like an indie game. Essentially, like it's not AAA, it's not on that level, but like the fan, I'm not gonna call them fans. The player base just sitting there spamming every time they do a post on Twitter and just spamming it with "get rid of team games, get rid of this game, it's the shit." Like, and I'm like, holy crap! Like, I'm sure they're still not really, able to handle like all of this like success, and then obviously what comes with success is usually the bullshit. So, oh my goodness, what a ride for the poor team. Like, they're obviously in a good space, but I could imagine the headaches that they're going through.
Yeah, it's blowing up, and it's great to see. And I got to say, the people involved in managing their social media accounts, perfection. Some of the best community management I've ever seen from a game studio. Like, they are all over this, and it's just further elevating the show and the game and the product as well. So. Yeah, shout out to them. We'll see if it's got a long-term attach rate, but at least in the short term, this game is just going pow. So, yeah, awesome to see. You want to roll out Bren 8-bit on the PS4 or Brendan 8-bit on the Steam. I haven't played on PC this week, but I'll get back there. Give it another couple of cracks. I need to get some more crowns. Outside of that, I haven't really been playing anything, full disclosure. So, I've been watching... a show on Netflix called Kingdom. I don't know if you know of this one. There's a lot of shows on there called Kingdom, The Last Kingdom, stuff like that. Yeah. This one is like modern day, and it's focused around like an MMA studio based out of California. So it sort of shows it's a few years old. It came out in like 2013.
It's got a Jonas in it, right?
It's got
Jonas
it's got
brother,
Nick Jonas.
Yeah,
Nick Jonas?
Yeah, I remember when this came out.
Yeah, I watched it way back in the day, but I only watched like the first season and a bit, and then sort of just fell away. So I've gone back, and they've got all 3 seasons on there. So I'm about halfway through the 3rd season now from this week, just sort of smacking it out, and it's just good. It's real gritty television focused on an area that I guess it's one of the biggest sports in the world these days. But I guess just the human element of it, the struggles, the battles with addiction, the battles with obviously people in the cage as well, but the cast is really good, and it doesn't bullshit, it doesn't hide anything from you. It's all there front and center. The violence, the drugs, the sex, the struggles, the emotional trauma, and it's really cool. Like 3 seasons, doesn't overstay its welcome. Some pretty cool stories and some pretty intense themes that they tackle and showcase within it, but it's just been good background television for me while I've been working and stuff. So that's what I've been binging, because Lovecraft Country comes out. I think it starts tomorrow for us here in Australia, either Sunday or Monday. That drops, so I'm just sort of hanging out for that. And this has just been a good little palate cleanser, because there's not much new on the old streaming services that I haven't watched lately. Because I finished all of Killing Eve, so I got none of that to watch until the next season comes out. Kingdom has been my little time killer as background noise outside of watching Tipping Point most afternoons, which is this UK based game show.
Okay.
And picture picture going, you know, the arcade machines you go to and you drop a coin in and there's like the coin will fall its way down to the bottom, but there's like a push wall that pushes the coin and you sort of want to then it'll fall down the next level and push like a big chunk of coins or candy bars or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they all fall down and you get that. That's what this game is in essence. Like it's so ghetto when you think of it in that regard, but they've made a whole like 30-minute long hour long I should say, game show in the UK where they answer trivia, and then depending on what they get right or wrong, they get X amount of coins to drop into this machine to try and win the money.
Wow.
And it's so great. It's so trash, but it's so great. And yeah, they can win £10,000 at the end of the show if they make it through to the big dance.
It's crazy.
But yeah, so that's sort of my, if I'm at home working from home, my 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Australian time on Channel 9. That's my little guilty pleasure. It's fantastic. But the host, like, he's very touchy. Like, he hugs and puts his arm around, like, every female on the show all the time. And I'm sitting there and like, this is a bit weird. Like,
that is weird, especially in this time.
Yeah. Like, it's like, I'm assuming it's probably been filmed over the last couple of years, this show. Like, it's recent. But yeah, like, every time when they focus to sort of the one person doing the questions, they'll get him right and he'll put his arm around him. And when they win, he's like big hugs and stuff. I'm like, this is sort of weird. Like,
yeah.
But I don't know, maybe he's just that kind of guy because they all seem pretty happy and whatever else. But yeah, Tipping Point, Channel 9, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Australian time. Give it a watch.
You're promoting people to watch this show. It sounds bad, but I like, now that I've been in America for quite some time, I can tell you the Americans come up with some stupid game shows. There was one called The Floor is Lava. Actually, that's not stupid.
It's great.
I would totally
it's
play
phenomenal.
it. I probably would play it. But like, there's like other ones where it was like Super Mini Golf Challenge. And I'm like,
yeah, that was Steph Curry was hosting.
Yeah,
that, wasn't
why? Why? It was golf.
They're making that here in Australia at the moment. They're doing the casting for it at the moment.
Oh my god!
So
you better jump on it then.
I debated looking to try and get in on that, but Floor is Lava is great dumpster fire television. Like especially when they fall into the quote unquote lava and like the people that are still alive in their group, they're like, no.
Get a grip, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But it's great. It's great. But that's me. What about you? What else have you been doing?
Like I said, I've been throwing like Fall Guys on in between like doing things. I was playing Destiny's. They've got the Solstice of Heroes event going on right now, and it has this really awesome gear that you can get once you completed like all the like armor required events and stuff. But as I was playing it, and then I was following a lot of podcasts and reading up a lot of notes, I'm finding out that to get to the next level of gear, there's like things that require you that, I mean, you don't have to do it a part of like a clan or a team, but it would be better if you were a part of a team, like something that like Trials of Osiris, and like that is about making sure everyone's coordinated and kills. Like, and I'm already below average at that, so I feel kind of like that I'm not going to be able to achieve certain goals to then complete this. So I've actually been really bummed out about it and kind of like taken myself out of it in the past few days, I guess. So yeah, it's quite a bummer because the gear looks really cool. It's like all glowy, and I think this is like my first event like this. They've had them before, but I'm assuming previously these were times where I was kind of checked out of Destiny, which happens.
It happens, yeah.
So I was actually really looking forward to it because it was my first time. I know a lot of people in the community were already groaning about it because it was very familiar, and I believe that a lot of the stuff was quite similar as well. So a lot of people were like, this is the same. But for me, it was new, so it wasn't too bad until I heard about, things being more of like a group project kind of thing. So
yeah.
But I can find ways around it, and I've got a lot of people who are happy to help me out, but it just feels like it feels like just extra work on top of work, so which is never fun when playing games, unfortunately.
It makes it tough. You want to have that fun. You want to have that enjoyment.
Yeah, you don't want it to feel like a chore.
No.
Once it starts feeling like a chore, then it's kind of loses the point, I guess.
It's time to then go watch some Tipping Point. 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Channel 9.
Or Extreme Mini Golf.
I haven't watched any of it, but I want to. The Extreme Mini Golf.
I did not want to watch it because none of it made sense to me. Why was someone that's popular for basketball doing something that's in regards to mini golf. Like, and I don't understand the entertainment value. They would have to bring on contestants that are a few screws loose to make it entertaining, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Anywho, I have been watching something really good though.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, actually, side note, I gave up on Hannibal season 3.
How, did you start watching season 3?
Yeah, I'm like halfway through season 3 and I'm bored shitless.
I told you, like, it's avoiding spoilers, but the fact that they knew that was the last hurrah, so they were just trying to wrap up everything as quickly as best as they could.
I've got an idea what's happening where I kind of given up, so I think that's why I've given up. I'm like, I know what you're setting up here, so you don't need. It's
such a shame because the first season is perfection. The second season, at least the first half, is on a similar path, and then it sort of wanes.
Yeah.
And then the third season is sort of like, but that first season is some of the best television you'll ever watch.
The first season was so good. It was so good and so promising. Everyone here heard it. I was raving about it. I was saying how amazing the show was. And then the second season, like halfway through, it just completely like tipsy-turvied and just changed its direction. And then with this one, it's just kind of being like, like really like yeah, like obscure or like, you know, like they're trying to be like really like tricky and intricate with the storytelling, and it's dark, but then it's you're not invested into anything really. Like, it's so weird, and that's unfortunately why I've had to put it on the back burner. However, luckily enough, that means I have a free show to watch, and that means I started Doom Patrol.
Oh yeah.
Doom Patrol, yeah.
Ooh,
So over here, it's on DC Universe. That's how we streamed it.
It's on Fox over here. It's on Fox 8.
Oh, good. Amazing. I had an idea that I'd kind of like it, but it's way better than I anticipated. Amazing casting, great characters, good story. I'm impressed that it actually keeps me interested for roughly the hour that the episode goes for, and like it's actually strangely really good without being a DC item, but not like forcing it down your throat like Batman, like references and stuff. Like, it's very subtle and to the side, but it really makes the Doom Patrol their own, like really focused on them, and makes you invested in them and what they're about and what's the story's going on. Now, full disclosure, I don't know much about the Doom Patrol. I don't really follow the Doom Patrol in the comics, but I'm kind of interested now. I'm thinking about actually maybe reading up about them, just kind of researching about what they're about, hopefully not spoiling anything for myself. But I mean, I approve anything that has like Brendan Fraser in it.
Yeah, like this is one of the first roles he's done in a good long time, and obviously you get some flashbacks to when, you know, spoilers, what I mentioned in the opening, like Cliff Steele is who he plays, who's a cyborg, but he used to be like a NASCAR driver, if I remember right.
I mean, is he really classified as a cyborg? Like, he's just, I mean, it happens in the first thing of the show, but like, he's a brain inside a machine. Yeah. Like,
yeah. So he's just a sentient robot, really.
Yeah.
They've transplanted his brain, but yes, he does the voicing, but they do sort of flashback to human Cliff.
You see his butt within the first 10 minutes of this show.
Good on him. But like Brendan Fraser's in there, Timothy Dalton, who was just an old powerhouse on the screen, even though he'd be close to 70 now, surely.
He'd have to be.
He's just an old dude. And then seeing like Alan Tudyk playing the villain, like Firefly is what I remember him most as, is playing as Wash in that. And then what was he? He was Tucker in Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. Yeah, Dodgeball as Steve the Pirate.
Yeah. Yar. Yeah. He's in a lot of things, actually. I got to give him more credit. He's actually in a lot of things. And he does a lot of voice work. I believe he does the voice for Joker in the Harley Quinn animated series. So, he's actually a very talented dude. But yeah, like, the casting is really, really great. The story's been really good so far. No way. Hang on. I was about to say I was halfway through, but I'm not halfway through because I found out there's like 15 episodes. I just assume everything's 10 or less, but it's actually like 15 episodes. So
yeah, it's weird. It's 15 for season 1, but then 9 for season 2.
Oh, okay. That is weird. Oh. But yeah. So far so good. I think it's really good at like it's gory, not gory. Like there's some blood. There's some some little like decapitated body part.
just some dismemberings over there. It's nothing.
Yeah,
It's all good.
like I just don't feel like gory is the best term, but like it's in your face, but it's not too like it doesn't
Visceral?
overdo it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they don't overdo it, but it's funny. There's a lot of dark humor in it, and yeah, I'm pleasantly happy with like how it's going so far, and I'll probably be invested in this one for quite some time, which probably means everything else that everyone's recommended to me is back on the back burner.
There, just
back
waiting.
there.
Just make sure you put some time aside for Tipping Point, because it's the show that stops a nation.
No, I've always got to put time aside for my cooking shows. So.
Oh yeah, I love a good cooking show.
Oh yeah, like I just found out that they've started another season of Sugar Rush. I don't know if Sugar Rush.
Oh yeah,
I
no, we
did
get Sugar
definitely
Rush on
watch it.
Netflix
Yeah.
over here.
So yeah, another season of Sugar Rush. So I've got to watch through that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
cooking shows are so good.
They
And
are.
unrelated, and then we'll get back on point here. But on Sundays here, I've noticed from about 10 a.m. onwards on like 7 Mate, I think it is. It's just like back to back fishing shows, and it's just my jam. My goodness gracious.
That was Channel 7. Like way back in the day, for as long as I remember, it would be like the cricket, and then it would follow it up with what's his
Rex
name?
Hunt?
Rex Hunt Fishing Adventures. That's
Yep.
it. You kiss the fish and you throw it back. I used to always remember that. So like Sundays felt like it was fishing. Like there'd be the morning one,
back.
and then
It's back. Like it is legit. Probably 5 hours straight of fishing shows. It is so good.
No.
So yeah, that's usually what I'm doing for parts of Sunday morning. Is just binging out watching fishing shows, questioning what I'm doing with my life.
I used to watch them. I get it. I don't know why I was very invested into fishing shows, but I liked it. I appreciated Rex throwing them back.
Hell yeah, yibbity yibbita, and throw it back
That's
in.
it. Yibbity yibbita. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Appropriately on 7 Mate.
Yeah, and Steve Starling and Bushy was on that too, and then they had their own offshoot show for a little bit. And yeah, anyway, that's enough fishing television history for y'all. Let's get into one of these.
iTunes Review of the Week.
And this review comes via way of Mr. GN or is it Morgan Phoenix? It's mrgnphnx. And this review was dropped on the 3rd of August 2020. And the review headline reads, THG equals MVP 5 stars. And the review says, came across THG via the iTunes charts and am very glad I did. Big fan of what Ali and Brendan provide weekly regarding video games and pop culture. Really easy to listen to, bringing not only solid opinions, but a few laughs too. So, Mr. GN Phoenix, Morgan Phoenix, I don't know. Whichever it is, you're a superstar, and thank you for that review, Miss Hart. What you got to say?
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that we do make people laugh other than ourselves.
We do think we're pretty funny sometimes.
Yeah, there's times where we're laughing and I'm just like, hopefully everyone's laughing along. So I appreciate that. I'm glad you guys are laughing along with us.
Yeah, but thank you for that fantastic review. As we mention here on the pod just about every week, these ratings and reviews help keep those cliched emotional lights on in our hearts. They keep us tracking. They keep us relevant. They let us know that we're doing things right or wrong. Obviously, criticism in any form of review is great. So if there is some things you think we can improve on, drop it in a review. Let us know. Send us an email, hello@8bit. But just be sure to let your voice be heard for not only our podcast, but all the other podcasts in the hashtag 8bit collective, or the other podcasts you're listening to on the regular, because these things take no time, cost you no money, but it means an awful lot to us, and it allows us to keep doing what we're doing and trying to improve the formula and keep tracking and trying to bring out the best content we can. So thank you for that. Quick more bit of housekeeping. Obviously, episode 8 of the Hungry Games Show is, I said it was going to be dropping on Patreon yesterday, but we've had some scheduling issues, so it's going to be dropping in the next couple of days. And that stars Dane Peavy, and he is tackling Matt Makes Games platforming classic Celeste. So that'll be available early access over at patreon.com/we are 8bit. and then it'll be released the following week on the Hungry Gamers RSS feed. When you're done checking that out, obviously 8bitnation.net is your good centralized hub, which is going to get you direct access to the Discord, to our web store, which is shop8bit.net, and all the other sort of tasty direct links to, the Facebook groups and things like that. When you're done checking out our stuff, obviously audiotechnica.com, audiotechnica.com.au to get yourself the best in audio-based equipment. And remember, I keep saying, you got a limited time to get those 8-bit purple M50Xs on your head, so get over to that store, get them ASAP before they sell out forever, because you don't want to be sad that you miss out on a piece of 8-bit headphone history there for the 8-bit purple M50Xs. So check that out. And we have the 8-bit community game night coming up, obviously the back end of this month. We're going to be playing some Fall Guys, some Jackbox, and just having a good time. Going to be doing some giveaways and just, some general banter with everybody out there. So lock out Friday, August the 28th in your calendar from around 7:30, 8 o'clock that evening, Australian time. So, come along. We'll have a Zoom call set up. We can jump on, have a chat, play some games, have a laugh. And, that's that. Shall we jump into some news?
Let's do it.
This week's news headlines.
All right. The first little quick hitter. Microsoft have narrowed the launch window on the Xbox Series X from holiday 2020 to November 2020, and then there has been some alleged leaks circulating around from various stores putting up art and various notes that it could be November the 6th as far as the official release date for the Xbox Series X. But sort of jumping into some more grim news tied into that November release date, I guess the crown jewel of that day one release, Halo Infinite, has been delayed until 2021. And I'll just read a part of the press release that Chris Lee, who is the studio head for Halo Infinite, sent out through the socials. And it says, "Today I want to share an important Halo Infinite development update with the community. We have made the difficult decision to shift our release to 2021 to ensure the team has adequate time to deliver a Halo game experience that meets our vision. The decision to shift our release is the result of multiple factors that have contributed to development challenges, including the ongoing COVID-related impacts affecting us all this year. I want to acknowledge the hard work from our team at 343 Industries, who have remained committed to making a great game and finding solutions to development challenges. However, it is not sustainable for the well-being of our team or the overall success of the game to ship it this holiday. We know this will be disappointing to many of you, and we all share in that sentiment. The passion and support the community has shown over the years has been incredible and inspiring. We wanted nothing more than to play our game with the community this holiday. The extra time will let us finish the critical work necessary to deliver the most ambitious Halo game ever at the quality we know all fans expect. Thank you for your support and understanding. Chris Lee, studio head, Halo Infinite." So this is some big news. It sucks because this is the franchise that is hand in hand with Microsoft and Xbox as far as, I guess, the franchise and IP and the Master Chief character is Xbox, really. Yeah. So to see him not lining up on November the 6th or November the whatever when this console releases is a big kick in the guts for Microsoft and the Xbox Series X. It's pretty tough, but I get it. And the reasons that Chris outlined there, it makes sense. COVID is ruining lives in a whole host of ways, especially when it comes to work, and trying to work and complete on a AAA in this climate seems nigh impossible to me. So I'm happy that they got out ahead of it now. It's still 3 months away from alleged release, and they've sort of, I guess, quelled some of that hope for when this game was going to come out and the excitement, and they're going to roll it into 2021. They don't exactly outline when, which is interesting. Is this going to be Q1 2021, or are they going to maybe hold it out to later in the year when it's actually the 20th anniversary from the first Halo coming out? So are they going to push it way back to, I think it was August, if I remember right, August or October, somewhere around there, that the first Halo dropped. Are they going to try and coincide with 20 years? Here's Infinite, get excited. But it's tough because there isn't really a tentpole game that's going to be dropping with the Series X now to get those day one purchases. What do you reckon?
There's a lot of factors here that haven't really been addressed. Like, and I don't want to think this way, but I mean, we did see the negative impact of the content that they released, and I forgot what event it was for. Was it just for an Xbox event?
Oh, the game showcase from like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and it did get a lot of like negativity based on its appearance and how it looked. So it's like the fact that they released that for that event, that was only, I guess, like, a few weeks ago, they got the negativity of how it looked and how, everyone was not happy with, I guess, the design and everything. And now they're kind of saying, no, we're pushing this back. We're not going to be releasing it. Like, I'm sure a lot of people are assuming that they heard the negativity and they went, yeah, we can't release this. We really can't. And like, it's a big move because it was meant to be the game that was released with the, console. So I'm sure it was a difficult decision to make, unfortunately. But in saying that as well, if the game was looking the way it was looking, which wasn't unfortunately looking too great, and then it was also being dropped, in the last half of the year, while there's still like Cyberpunk laying around in the midst, it was a very like competitive time to be, trying to drop a game, especially one that's very like important. Like, it's an extremely important game to be dropping. So, half baked, competitive climate, it just seems like the right decision. The vagueness on date, I guess, is obviously due to COVID. It's probably really difficult now to do any kind of like projection work, and as well as maybe they themselves kind of deciding exactly how much more work they were probably wanting to invest into the game to fix it up to make people happy. So it's unfortunate. It's sad. It screws me over for our little
for our video game draft,
fantasy draft thing. So that was like that to me was like a solid choice. Like that has to come out. The console's coming out. It has to. So yeah, I'm completely screwed over. But
dagger to the heart.
Yep. So, but I mean, the important factor is that they look after their stuff. That try not to do the crunch and just release a good game instead of releasing a half-ass game.
I think that's the big thing. People are going to be upset and frustrated, and they're already piling on. Like, why would you buy a Series X day one now? Like, there's nothing there to make me want to pick this up. Like, and I get that, but I'll still be picking these consoles up day one, because if I can get my first Assassin's Creed Valhalla experience on the next gen and get an uptick in graphics and whatever else, I'm all for it. It's a big loss as far as a release hype for day one sales for Microsoft, that Infinite is coming out now sometime in 2021. God knows when that's going to be, but as you said, you got to look after your staff first and foremost in this climate, especially with COVID. And then, you want to release a game that everyone's going to be happy with. Like, so if this is going to give them 3, 6 months, 12 months, whatever the cycle is to get this game to a level where it comes out and it's just a jaw dropper and everyone's like, I'm so sorry for doubting you in that game showcase. This is amazing. Best Halo game ever.
They'll never say sorry.
Oh, yeah.
They'll never say sorry. They'll be like, I told you.
Yeah, you needed that time to get it to where it needed to be, yeah.
Told you it looked like shit.
Yeah, but I guess they're like on the back of this, and then obviously the announcement that got leaked with the multiplayer being free, which was something that they could have came out and announced themselves, but due to leaks, the thunder was stolen, which is another shame for them. There was some rumors that they were looking at maybe releasing this game in sections with a part to come out at launch, but they've shelved that, and it's going to be the entire offering sometime next year, because they wanted to try and I guess quell, sort of stop some of the hemorrhaging there with people carrying on. But I'm still keen, like playing the latest titles, like playing Cyberpunk on the Series X. I'm all for it, and they're going to double down on that because they have been talking about how it's going to be enhanced and optimized for Series X and blah, blah, blah. So I think they're really going to dial up marketing between now and November to say Cyberpunk can only be played, on the Series X. This is where you need it to be, and probably get some more Keanu involved and whatever else to really try and, synergize those two brands and push that out as the lead-in title for holiday. So, yeah, it's a shame, but it's the way the world is at the moment. Like, you know, shit is happening. The world's on fire. Normal working environments are non-existent. You know, ISO and working from home is going to impact just about every industry. So yeah, I'm surprised that it's, you know, some of the games that came out this year managed to come out this year just with how things are. So it's a testament to the studios involved to get them done. So yeah, we'll see. No doubt we'll get some more updates about what's happening with Infinite in the future. But yeah, it's a shame because it was a big old kick in the guts for Microsoft this week. But yeah. All right, a couple more quick little bangers. The Last of Us Part 2's new grounded difficulty and permadeath mode are now available as part of a free update alongside other options and improvements. Players can now earn 2 new rewards, or 2 new trophies. One for beating The Last of Us 2 with permadeath enabled, and another for beating the game on grounded difficulties. However, these 2 trophies will not be necessary to earn the platinum. So if you've already got the platinum or you're working your way to the platinum, you don't have to try and work your way through grounded difficulty or permadeath mode to get that plat. Grounded is a returning hardest difficulty mode featured in the original The Last of Us. It strips away several key elements for players, severely reducing resource availability and making foes more difficult to defeat. Meanwhile, permadeath, pretty self-explanatory. You die, you're dead for good. So it's going to show you how far you got, what killed you, what difficulty you played on, and what aspect of the game you were tackling. And obviously then a rundown of how long you last. So any The Last of Us fans or Last of Us Part 2 fans that want to get back in and test their mettle and see how far they can sort of persevere in, you know, post-apocalyptic America, now's your time. Next little banger, Splinter Cell's Sam Fisher gears up for Rainbow Six Siege. Splinter Cell's Sam Fisher is coming to Rainbow Six Siege as a playable operator in the Operation Shadow Legacy update for Season 3 of Year 5. The crossover sees a character from one Tom Clancy series joining another. And while we don't know much about how he'll play just yet, we'll be learning much more very soon. Sam looks quite a bit different and a little younger than he did in recent crossovers with another Tom Clancy series. It's the latest game he has appeared in that isn't actually Splinter Cell, because we don't know when we're ever going to get another Splinter Cell, but we're going to get a little taste in Rainbow Six Siege. Cool crossover, but doesn't move the needle. Doesn't make me want to go play any Siege, but anyway.
Doesn't make me want to play Siege, and I don't think the fans were hoping for that kind of content from Splinter Cell, unfortunately.
Yes. And the last little bit of news we want to bring to the Hungry Gamers table this week. This past week, it's been announced for us here in Australia that Bluemouth Interactive will be bringing the Atari VCS console to Australia, so you can get it around the world through other distributors. For those looking to buy it, though, it will cost $6.99 or $8.49 AUD when it releases in November, right alongside the Xbox Series X. And the $6.99 version includes an 8GB Atari VCS, and it doesn't come with any controller, while the $8.49 all-in bundle includes the Atari VCS Classic Joystick and the Atari VCS Modern Controller. The joystick and controller are each available for $109.95 each via, obviously, the various gaming shop fronts here in Australia or around the world. And the Atari VCS sits somewhere between a PC and a gaming console. The unit will house an AMD Ryzen processor that is capable of 4K HDR video streaming as well as Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. The console will be available to launch into 2 different platforms. Atari World will house over 100 home and arcade classics, while Atari PC Sandbox mode will essentially turn your console into a PC that can run Windows among other operating systems to enjoy PC gaming on your big screen. So this thing initially came about via a crowdfunding website. I nearly backed it, but the prices were, as we're seeing now, absolutely bananas for what this thing is. $849. Get the fuck out of here, Atari.
I have no interest in this. I never grew up with an Atari, so I don't have that kind of nostalgic attachment either. So yeah, I have no idea why. Has this been something that's been requested? Has there been a fan outcry for this sort of thing?
I think it came about they tested the waters with this crowdfund just to see if there was going to be uptake, and they made their dollar goal, and on the back of that they've now brought these things into manufacture. But for that price, I have got less than zero interest in buying one of these things. If it was half the price, maybe because I think for the most part, it's going to just sit on a shelf as a collector's item. Like, this ain't going to be anybody's primary console. No way or how.
It's a weird thing because it's like, it's a console. Well, no, like it has the streaming capabilities, but then it also has we can run like a Windows operating system.
Yeah, the sandbox mode, which is just weird.
Yeah, I just don't think that like for me personally, it's not something that I really need. It sounds like a device that's putting together a lot of things that weren't really a pain for me to access. Like, I didn't really have issues accessing it earlier anyway, so having it all combined into this one device, like, I mean, I've got a RetroPie, so, you know, I've got my retro gaming there, I've got a PC, so, and then I've got Apple TV as well, and like,
but you know what though, none of that has sexy dated wood grain like the Atari VCS console has on it, so you're missing some sexy faux wood grain on that Raspberry Pi or that PC. True.
Well, you know, it's not the draw for me, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, if people, like, clearly people wanted it, they funded for it, so but yeah, just it's not for me.
Yeah, like I'm the king of wasting money on crap that I'll use once and never again, and for me to not say I'm going to buy this, I think, you know, it speaks volumes, because I'll usually look for an excuse to waste some money on these random niche things that sound cool for 5 minutes, but yeah, this just does not move the needle at all for me. Maybe some people that are our age or maybe slightly older might be excited because the Atari was their console. You know, the 2600 was in a lot of houses, you know, as when we were kids. But it's just a weird thing. Like, they're trying to be everything. They're trying to focus on the nostalgia hook. They're trying to be the streaming box. They're trying to be is it the Steam Link? Is that the box that you can sort of connect to your telly? Is that what it's called? You know, the
little device that you can kind of like play Steam games off on your television.
Yeah. So it's trying to be a bit of that as well. And I think it's just trying to be too much, but we'll see. Be curious to know what the sales out data is on this thing, come the end of the year, because it's dropping in November. So we don't have too long to wait to get our hands on this if you want to. Any Atari fans out there, hit us up, let us know if you're keen, because we ain't here.
Yeah, sell it to us.
Yeah, please. All right, next little bit of the potty.
New releases and events.
Okay, we've got a pretty good assortment of games coming out this coming week. So we're talking about releases between the 17th of August to the 24th of August, so that release window. I wanted to highlight Battletoads, which is coming out on August the 20th, which is obviously available exclusively on the Microsoft platform, so Xbox One, PC, free with Xbox Game Pass, so get it on there. I'm going to be keen as a bean to play some of that. And then the other one I think that's getting a lot of hype is Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah, remember when I made fun of that?
You mean individual.
I did. I made fun of it, suggesting that it was just a very niche like market. But no, a lot of people are hyping this game up, so I apologize.
Sorry to all you Flight fans out there, but everyone that's playing it, like, I was talking to Shannon from Press Start the other day about it, and he's been playing it for a while. He says it's phenomenal. He says it's one of the best games he's ever played.
What?
Like, it's gorgeous. Like, a lot of people are saying it's one of the best looking games you'll ever play. Like, the studio behind it, the amount of time and effort they did into researching these locations where you're flying, like, it's to the pixel perfect. Like, the houses, the buildings, everything is where it's meant to be, from real life to Microsoft Flight Simulator world. And yeah, like, it's cool. It's not a game that tickles my pickle. Like, flight games, yeah, cool. It's nice to be able to, like, maybe it's good in this climate, really, escapism, like, especially with global travel being banned. Maybe you can experience it through Flight Simulator. I don't know.
Like, coming from, like, growing up with PC games, a lot of PC games were, like, flight-based combat kind of games. So I'm actually very familiar with, like, you know, the whole, like, gameplay of just sitting in, like, a cockpit or whatever and flying a device, whether it be, you know, a plane or something out in space, regardless. So I can get the appeal and the attachment. Now I'm thinking I might have to buy this game just so, because it'll be a long time before I'll be able to fly back to Sydney.
Yeah, like, you see some of the rumblings in the press where international travel for certain places might not occur till like 2022. I saw one the other day, it was like 2024. I'm like, gee, that is depressing if that is anywhere close to true.
Massively depressing. I moved to another country at a wrong time.
Yeah. So, hopefully the world gets better. If not, get your international travel fixed via Microsoft Flight Simulator, which comes out this week. So get excited. And then the other one, PGA Tour 2K 2021. Crazy bonkers golf. Like, I'm like, yeah, golf, whatever. But there's course creator in there. And you can make your own golf course or your own golf holes or whatever you want to sort of classify that as, completely bonkers. Like, you can put 7,000 crocodiles or alligators across the course. You can put crazy explosions and fireworks and turn it into like that crazy extreme mini golf game you were talking about earlier.
Okay, so it's kind of... All right, I won't say anything. I'm also going to give a mention to Rogue Legacy 2. Rogue Legacy 1 was pretty awesome, so I'd actually be interested to see how well Rogue Legacy 2 goes.
Yeah, PC exclusive, coming out on August the 18th/19th, depending on where you are in the world. So that's another one there. But yeah, plenty of games coming out this week. Battletoads, though, keen to give it a go and see if I'm going to cry with the difficulty. I wonder if they've made it as hard as they did with the OG.
Over one, yeah.
All right, I got one more part for you before we close up THG 206.
You've got mail.
Chucky Fresh. And this question of the week from our mailbag ties full circle into what we were talking about straight away in episode 206 as far as Fall Guys. With the global success of the game Fall Guys, seeing companies such as KFC and Walmart wanting their own unique skin in the game, what/who would you like to see immortalized as an in-game skin? What or who you got?
Well, unfortunately, I couldn't really think of like a franchise that I particularly like, any kind of like character of a franchise that I would want in the game. But I was thinking about like other games and what would work really well. And one of my favorites, everyone hates them, but I love them. The Ubisoft, they're rabbits.
Oh, yeah, I could see a rabbit skin translating to this pretty well.
Yeah, I could see it too, and it would be great. I would love that. I used to have like a little figurine, and it was just like a rabbit, but it was wearing a G-string for some reason.
Oh, wow.
I'd love to see that. Yeah, I don't recall why I got it, but it was great. So
Sexy
that's what
rabbits.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sir Sharks-a-Lot said he would love a Man-Eater game skin because who doesn't love sharks? And clearly Sir Sharks-a-Lot is all about the shark life, you know. Shark, he's got a shark avatar photo, Sir_Sharks-a-Lot on the socials. Our man Jamie Penning, he says that at EB Games Australia sale skin, because it's always there to remind us of a sale. So we're talking like the big red and white sort of sale signage that you see everywhere through EB Games.
Yeah.
Some of the crossover ones I've seen, like Boss Logic, has been pumping out some beautiful ones from, he did some Thanos ones. Yeah, KFC Gaming is getting behind it. There's so many studios and various brands and companies from outside of video gaming like, hey, let us in, like, let us get in on this fun stuff. KFC one would be phenomenal. I'd be down for a Coca-Cola one.
The design was really, really good, actually. I liked the design. But, like, the problem is that the design has to, like, incorporate the face, like the little face hole. So some of them can look really screwed up if it's, like, especially a character, because it essentially looks like that they're swallowing whatever the Fall Guy is. So, yeah. But
I saw some really cool Metal Gear Solid ones that Konami put up. They look great. I'd love a Coca-Cola can one or a Coke bottle, like a glass bottle Coke. I think that would translate. We've seen it already working with. There is a soda can in the game as a skin, and there's a milkshake.
Banana soda. What the fuck?
Yeah, God, what is that? What is that? Well, we've got dinosaur skins, so that sort of knocks that out. But I think we'll see maybe some more PlayStation exclusives. Like we saw the Gordon Freeman Half-Life skin pop in for the Steam exclusive.
Sorry, I'm thinking about The Last of Us.
Oh, wow. Like a big clicker.
That's not what I was thinking. I'm not going to say anything. Carry.
I'm trying to think of where you're going.
It would be a spoiler.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but you could see characters, like you could see a...
Uncharted?
Like a Nathan Drake one. A little Kratos. Yeah, a little Kratos one.
Oh, yeah.
There's an Aloy one. There's so many options you could do. A Spider-Man one if they further want to stick a middle finger up to every other platform. Spider-Man Fallout Guys exclusive skin.
Yeah.
Would not surprise me if that makes its way to Fall Guys, but yeah, we're going to see a lot of crossovers, I think, over the next 6 to 12 months with Fall Guys working with other companies and studios to get their little likenesses in, and then probably a little Fall Guys being in other games as well.
They'll do a streamer. I reckon they'll do a streamer.
Yeah.
Usually popular games put a streamer in there, like usually a streamer that's known for the game. They'll probably do one that's like a specific streamer. Yeah,
I think you bang on the money. Bang on the money. But yeah, This has been episode 206 of the Hungry Gamers podcast. Anything you want to say before we close this down for another week? I know it's been a bit of a shorter, tighter one, but full disclosure, listeners, we're about to go record Mystery Men Comedy Rewind with JP, and we don't want to keep him waiting too long, so we're trying to keep this tight, clear, concise, punchy.
No, I just wanted to throw it out there. Cyberpunk did release the life paths for your character, and after watching that, I can't believe I'm going to choose, because there was Nomad, which is like a Mad Max one. Then you have Street Kids, which is kind of like, neon kind of like gangster kind of style one. And then there was the Corporate. I'm probably going to go Corporate, just an FYI.
I was leaning towards Street Kid or Corporate myself too. Like, I watched it through. Yeah, probably should have chucked that in the news because it was great. Their little sort of video diaries and updates they've been sprinkling out over the last few months are phenomenal, and I'm so excited for Cyberpunk. My goodness.
We should throw up a poll for that one. We'll see what everyone's leaning towards.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we'll unpack that maybe more detail on episode 207. But yeah, this has been episode 206. Obviously, be sure to rate, review, subscribe us on the iTunes or the podcast hosting platform of your choosing. Follow us on the socials at We Are 8-Bit. Follow Miss Ali Hart at Miss Ali Hart. Follow myself at Brendan 8-Bit. But until next week, 8-Bit Nation, where we come back at you for the 207th time, much love.
And stay hungry.
You've been listening to The Hungry Gamers, one of many gaming and geek culture related podcasts from the 8-Bit Collective over on 8bit.net. Check out more episodes on your podcast service of choice. And while you're there, please be sure to rate and subscribe. Until next time, boys and girls, stay hungry.
And go watch Tipping Point, 3 to 4 p.m, Channel 9. The best.
Mini Golf Extreme!